Hey, what's up, guys? I have a plan. I'm to get free testosterone here in Canada. I hope it will work. I've already got the plan somewhat underway, which is, I'll tell you a bit of the backstory. I went to the doctor to get a new family doctor. I told him I'm on testosterone, and he was inquiring about that. So I inquired, is it possible for me to get prescribed testosterone? And he's actually pretty good. He better than what I expected most doctors to be. He was very knowledgeable about the subject, very empathetic about it, and he's going out of his way to try to help me. Which is, first I got blood work, which showed that it was slightly skewed because I was blasting at the time, and then as well he's referring me to endocrinologists. So two endocrinologist specialists just flat out denied wanting to see me. The third one is willing to see me, but there's a bit of a catch, which is he wants me to go off testosterone for 3 months, then do blood work, and then decide if going on, prescribing me is going to be ideal or not. Obviously they want to cover their ass. They don't want to just be handing out testosterone, because it is like a scheduled drug in Canada. So obviously they want to make sure they're covering their ass with their college and things, I'm sure. So it's a hoop that they want me to jump through. So obviously I'm not going to go off testosterone for 3 months. Hell no, that's just way too long. So I have a plan. This is part of my plan to go on it, because if I get prescribed it, it's not necessarily free, but through my work insurance, it would be free, or at very least pay very little for. So my plan is, when the date's coming up, say the date is 2 months from now, right? 2 months from now is when I'm going to be getting the blood work for to see if my test levels are too low. Right off that bat, I'm going to start with bringing down my test levels. If I'm blasting, I'm going to go to essentially start a cruise dose, and then every subsequent week titrate it down till the last 2 weeks. I'm doing less than 50 milligrams a week, if that. Maybe even the last week I'll do nothing. So I did the calculations on that. So if I'm doing testosterone cypionate, the half-life is a week. So that means your blood levels drop half every subsequent week. So if you're doing 200 testosterone and you go off it, and your blood levels at 800 just throwing arbitrary number out there, the next week it's going to be 400, the next week it's going to be 200, next week it's going to be 100, and so on. So I really need to bring it down to 100 at very least, a few weeks out before it, and then a few subsequent weeks even bring it down to 50. 2 weeks before has to be no more than 50 milligrams a week. So at least I have something. Now, the doctor's going to do the test and see that I still got some testosterone, but it's going to be, and he might get pissed about that, but it's going to be hopefully a lot. It's going to be less than the threshold, so it's going to show that I have gonadal hypertrophy, which is atrophy of the testicles. It'll show that my blood levels are low, but this is the way I can do it without the risk of jeopardizing my health too much. If I went off for 3 months, oh man, I can't imagine. All my gains would be gone. Obviously, potential risk for injury would be better. The risk for a whole number of things. And risk for probably being a bitch, to be honest, and having zero energy. My wife would probably be, who knows what would happen with that, right? So I just can't have that risk. So what I can do, I can go off it maybe for 2 weeks, bring my levels really low for a few weeks at a time, and then get the blood work, and then just start blasting again, or get my dose high. Take a huge dose. As soon as I do that blood work again, I'll inject 500 milligrams right the next day on the spot to get my blood levels right back up. But that's kind of my plan. I've heard of guys doing this before to get on the TRT, or doctors prescribe TRT. But also, it will give me a foot in the door to actually talk to the specialist, because if you're a specialist like an endocrinologist and you just get a phone call, this guy wants T, then it's testosterone, it'll be like, yeah, okay, sure, 3 months, I'll go off for 3 months and we'll talk type of thing. But if I can get a foot in the door in the office and actually kind of reason with him, I'm thinking that he'll be a bit more lenient and he'll be a bit more understanding about the issue and reason with him, because I know, like, look, if you go off it, there's serious health consequences about going off it, right? And there's serious potential health consequences of staying on Chinese UGL shit. So, I'll reason with them on that. Like, my only other option is doing illegal drugs, essentially. Like, wouldn't it be better to guide me onto safe drugs, right? So anyway, that's my plan. Anyway, what are your guys' thoughts about that? Have you experienced with this before? The only other option I can think of is going to like a male health clinic, TRT clinic, but then you do have to pay, and you'll be paying more than UGL, and it might not even be as good, to be honest. Probably this be the same shit Chinese UGL source, right? Repackaged as male health clinic shit. So I'll leave it there, guys. What are your thoughts on? Well, who knows? Maybe it'll be actually Bayer or whatever else. Like, it'll be actually good shit too. But maybe that's something I'll look into as well. I just don't want to pay up the ass for testosterone. That's the whole point of me going and getting it hopefully for free. So let me know what your guys' thoughts are on that. Leave in the comment section below. Peace.